Hi guys, it's Mrs. Palmer. We're back to Dinosaurs Before Dark. If you remember yesterday, Annie and Jack met a Triceratops and found a gold medallion in the grass. Let's find out what happens next. Chapter 6, Dinosaur Valley. Annie, look at this, Jack called. Look what I found. Annie had gone up to the hilltop. She was busy picking a flower from the magnolia tree. Annie, look, a medallion. But Annie wasn't paying attention to Jack. She was staring at something on the other side of the hill. Oh, wow, she said. Annie! Clutching her magnolia flower, she took off down the hill. Annie, come back, Jack shouted. But Annie had disappeared. I'm going to kill her, Jack muttered. He stuffed the gold medallion into his jeans pocket. Then he heard Annie shriek, Annie! Jack heard another sound as well, a deep bellowing sound like a tuba. Jack, come here, Annie called. Annie! Jack grabbed his backpack and raced up the hill. When he got to the top, he gasped. The valley below was filled with nests, big nests made out of mud. The nests were filled with tiny dinosaurs. Look, guys, can you see them? Here's the hill. There's Jack. Here are the nests. If I get real close, you can see the little dinosaurs, all in the nests of mud. They must be what's making that funny sound. Let's find out. Annie was crouching next to one of the nests, and standing over her was a gigantic duck-billed dinosaur. Don't panic, don't move, said Jack. He stepped slowly down the hill toward Annie. The huge dinosaur was towering above Annie, waving her arms, making her tuba sound. Jack stopped. He didn't want to get too close. He knelt on the ground. Okay, move toward me slowly, he said. Annie started to stand up. Don't stand, crawl, said Jack. Clutching her flower, Annie crawled toward Jack. The duck-billed dinosaur followed her, still bellowing. Annie froze. Keep going, Jack said softly. Annie started crawling again. Jack inched further down the hill until he was just an arm distance from Annie. He reached out and grabbed her hand. He pulled Annie toward him. Stay down, he said. He crouched next to her. Bow your head and pretend to chew. Chew? Yes, I read that's what you do if you meet a mean dog who comes near you. She's no dog, Jack, said Annie. Just chew, said Jack. Annie and Jack both bowed their heads and pretended to chew. Soon, the dinosaur grew quiet. Jack raised his head. I don't think she's mad anymore, he said. Thanks, Jack, for saving me, said Annie. You've got to use your brain, said Jack. You can't just go running around to a nest of babies. There's always a mother nearby. Annie stood up. Annie! Too late. Annie held out her magnolia flower to the dinosaur. I'm sorry I made you worry about your babies, she said. The dinosaur moved closer to Annie. She grabbed the flower from her. She reached for another. No more, said Annie. The dinosaur let out a sad tuba sound. But there are more flowers up there, Annie said, and she pointed to the top of the hill. I'll bring you some. Annie hurried up the hill. The dinosaur waddled after her. Jack quickly examined the babies. Some were crawling out of their nests. Were there other mothers? Jack took out his dinosaur book and flipped through the pages. He found a picture of some duck-billed dinosaurs and he read the caption. The Antosauruses lived in colonies. While a few mothers babysat the nests, others hunted for food. So there must be other mothers nearby. Hey, Jack, called Annie. Jack looked up. Annie was on the top of the hill, feeding magnolia flowers to the giant Anatosaurus. She's nice too, Jack, said Annie. But suddenly the Anatosaurus made her terrible tuba sound again. Roar, roar. Annie crouched down and started to chew. The dinosaur barged down the hill. She seemed afraid of something, and Jack put the book down on the top of his backpack and hurried over to Annie. There it is, the Anatosaurus. You see the duckbill? And there's Annie and Jack. Annie getting into trouble all the time. I wonder why she ran away, Annie said. We were starting to be friends. Jack looked around and he saw what he saw in the distance made him want to throw up. An enormous, ugly monster was coming across the plain. He was walking on two big legs and swinging a long, thick tail and dangling two tiny arms. He had a huge head and his jaws were wide open. Even from far away, Jack could see his long, gleaming teeth. Tyrannosaurus Rex, whispered Jack. Oh no, I hope they can get back to that treehouse quick. We'll have to find out tomorrow. Bye!